February. Dear Danny, it worked. You got my first letter and you wrote back. Did you notice that I used my mum's label machine to write your address on the envelope, just in case the supreme leader of Planet Annoying, your big sister, recognised my handwriting and ripped it up? Or worse, read it. Maya is such a nosy face that her face might as well just be one big nose and two eyes, a mouth, then another nose right in the middle. Anyway, your letter arriving makes up for today being lame, although I'm a bit worried that our new postman might be a thief because the envelope did not contain the Danger Gang badge that you owe me. I guess there's a chance that Max ate it, because when the post fell through the letterbox, he managed to waddle over and chew it all before Mum and Dad could get to him. I'm sure he must be half toddler, half dog, but Mum said that that's impossible, and he's just going through a bitey phase. If there was anything in your letter, I'm sure Dad will find it in his nappy sooner or later. Just like when he swallowed my Zach Danger action figure spy gun. Max, not Dad. I looked for that thing for ages before Max squeezed it out. Thanks for checking up on my old house for me. I cannot believe the new owners have already taken down my treehouse. The Fortress of Frankie. The Frank Cave. Frankie and Danny headquarters. The Danger Gang. That place was our hideout, our secret lair. What harm would it have done to leave it? I knew I should have included it in the legal document I left them. Too late now. You live and learn. Dad always says that. I'm not really sure what it means, but I think I've used it correctly. We've got a pretty good tree in our new garden though, and I've already got some big ideas for the Danger Gang headquarters that will put our older one to shame. I've taken the liberty of drawing up some plans. Let me know what you think. Pretty cool, right? It's a work in progress, but you live and learn. That didn't sound right that time. How are things back in Greyville? I've got so much to tell you about Freaky, especially my new school, Freaky Primary. It's pretty cool, except for one person, Ronnie Nutbog. When I turned up at the school gates on my very first day, Ronnie Nutbog was waiting for me. I heard there was new kids starting today, he grunted at me. Let's see if you've got anything good in your lunchbox. Obviously, I'm not scared of anyone, and normally I'd have told him to shove off, but Ronnie Nutbog is twice as big as me, which means that he's probably 3 times as big as you. Well, luckily for me, my dad had been on lunch duty that morning, and you know how useless he is at that kind of thing, so I had weird stinky egg sandwiches. When Ronnie caught a whiff of these, he nearly threw my lunchbox on the floor, and I thought he might leave me alone. Unluckily for me though, Mum had sneaked in a triple fudge donut underneath the stinky sandwiches, along with a note saying, "Good luck on your first day. I'll be in the science classroom if you need anything. Kiss, kiss, kiss." Ronnie crumpled up the note, shoved the delicious squidgy donut into his face and gave me a huge fudgy grin. "Thanks, bumface," he mumbled as he wandered off, and loads of kids standing close by laughed. I'm pretty sad about that donut. In my first class, instead of doing work, I wrote a poem about Ronnie on my pencil case. It's a new pencil case that I got for my first day of school. I know that might sound a bit lame, but this is no ordinary pencil case. It's one of my mum's inventions. I've drawn it for you. It has all these cool secret compartments and bits that flip open to reveal other secret compartments. There's a little detachable spoon for my yoghurt at lunchtime. The zip becomes a torch when you press it. It floats on water. It's fireproof, glows in the dark, and there's even an emergency whistle. I mean, Mum went a bit overboard, to be honest. But when she said pencil cases are so expensive these days, I would be cheaper to make one, I didn't actually expect her to do it. This is the poem I wrote on the side of it. Don't worry. The pencil case also comes with a fadeaway spy pen, which means my poems and top secret messages on the side of it will disappear before my enemies can read them. Ronnie is a great big bumhead, with a face like a wrinkly bum. A bum on his chin with 2 bums for eyes, and a bum for a dad and a mum. He's got a bum nose, and a bum for a mouth, and there's something I must have forgotten. Ah, yes, it's his brain, which is very, very small, and it's not in his head, it's in his bottom. I was really happy with that poem. But then my new teacher, Miss Tinky, that's her actual name, saw that I'd been writing on my pencil case and not writing about the ancient Egyptians like she'd asked. So she came over to see what I'd been doing, gave me a sad face sticker on the class chart, which at Freaky Primary is the worst. And Ronnie Nutbog laughed. I don't like Ronnie Nutbog. And then it was home time. As if starting a new school wasn't embarrassing enough, because we moved house in January, everyone in my class already knew each other, and I realised that first impressions were everything. I had to play it cool, especially after the bad start with Ronnie Nutbog. The last thing I wanted was for my classmates to find out that my mum is a new science teacher, or my life would be over. No one wants to hang out with a teacher's kid. I was actually pretty grateful that Ronnie had crumpled up the note my mum had left in my lunchbox. Luckily, my class don't have science on Mondays, so I managed to get through the whole first day without anyone finding out, until home time, when Mum came to my classroom to collect me. Everyone saw her waving at me through the window with her shiny new staff member name badge on her chest. "Why is the new teacher waving at you?" a kid named Eric Flipperson asked curiously. I shrugged and kept my head down. "Is she your mum?" a girl called Susie Prune asked. "No," I spluttered. "Wait, she is. I saw you moving into number 13 over the weekend. You live on the same street as me. I live at number 7, the one with the yellow door," another girl named Jamelia Pointer said. All I could do was grab my bag and make a run for it, but it was no use. It turns out that as well as Jamelia Pointer, a bunch of kids in my class live on the same street as me. There's Susie Prune and Eric Flipperson, Katie Speck, Molly McClear, Charlie Campbell, and this is the worst, Ronnie Nutbog. And they all saw me and the science teacher walking home together. Molly McClear gave me a little wave as we went inside our houses, and I think Jamelia smiled, but across the road, Ronnie Nutbog was laughing his head off as he went into number 14. Frankie's mum is a teacher. It was so lame. I mean, I didn't cry or anything, but I was really miffed with Mum, especially when she started waving to them all like some sort of celebrity. And when she got home, she pulled out a jumbo packet of marshmallows from her bag and said, "Well done on your first day at school, Frankie." Then she let me eat the whole lot, and just like magic, the marshmallows somehow melted my crossness at Mum. Anyway, today has totally taken over as my new, very worst day at Freaky Primary so far. You know what today is, right? Valentine's Day. Yuck. As if Valentine's Day isn't bad enough already, Miss Tinky made us all write stupid Valentine's cards in class. She said we could write to anyone in the class, or if we didn't want to do that, we could write one to our mum and dad. Everyone laughed when she said that, so there was no way I was going to send one to my parents. But there wasn't anyone in the class I wanted to send a shiny pink card with an even shinier, pinker love heart on the front. I thought really hard about who would be the least embarrassing person in the class to send my card to, just in case they figured out it was me that sent it. I must have thought about it for longer than I realised, as before I knew it, the lesson was nearly over and I hadn't written a thing. I looked around at the other kids I could potentially send a card to. The list of no way went on and on. The clock was ticking and everyone was licking their envelopes already. So I panicked and wrote my card to the next person that popped in my head. Miss Tinky. Great idea, I thought. That saved the weird embarrassment of sending one of the girls in class a lovey-dovey wishy-washy Valentine's Day card. Everyone else had finished theirs, so I quickly scribbled her name on the envelope and went to post in the shiny red postbox that Miss Tinky had set up at the front of the class. That's when Miss Tinky said, "Frankie Brown, since you're the last one up, you can hand out all the cards." "What?" I blurted. "I said that you can be in charge of handing out the Valentine's cards. You're our class cupid," she trilled as she pulled something out of the art cupboard and made my life 10,000 times worse by sticking a pair of homemade angel wings on my back. Well, you can imagine my horror as all those eyes watched me pick up the red box and start handing out the cards. 2 for Daisy Jacobs, 1 for Jamelia Pointer. Ronnie Nutbog got 3 of Valentine's Day cards, which I'm pretty sure he sent to himself. I hand-delivered the seal envelopes, dressed as stupid Cupid, and realised that I was nearly at the end of the box, which meant my card was coming up soon. There was no way of getting out of it now. I was going to have to hand a Valentine's card to Miss Tinky, But then she'd probably think it was from one of the goody-goody kids who sit at the front and get top marks in all their tests, or maybe even Ronnie Nutbog trying to make up for getting caught eating chewy chews in maths earlier. Either way, she'd never suspect it was from me, right? I pulled out the card with my scribbled handwriting on the envelope and nervously approached Miss Tinky's desk. "What's this?" Miss Tinky said, looking shocked. "Is that a Valentine's Day card for me?" "It appears to be, miss," I said, pretending to look surprised to throw everyone off the scent. The whole class giggled as she took the red envelope. "Well, I must say, this is a shock. No one has ever sent me a teacher's Valentine's Day card before. What a shame it won't say who it's from. I'll never know who sent it." That's when my heart stopped. The world spun and I felt sick. I suddenly realised that in my frantic hurry to write out the card, I had totally forgotten that you are not supposed to write your name in a Valentine's Day card, and I had signed it with my full name. "Dear Miss Tinky, will you be my Valentine from Frankie A. Brown?" "Oh, thank you very much, Frankie A. Brown," Miss Tinky trilled at the top of her lungs, spinning the card round so that everyone could see. The whole class burst out laughing, making kissing sounds. Ronnie Nutbog even made up a rhyme about us that went, "Frankie and Miss Tinky sitting in the tree, KISSIQT. It's a good job that twerp can't spell, or it would have been a super embarrassing worst day in Freaky so far.